before I talk about these mods, let me show them to you. So I just reconfigured the Trek, and man, it's been a minute since I've been on this thing. I've been riding my Bianchi, and what did I do? I went to a 54. I did a 54-40 chainring up front. I changed out my pulley wheel system in the back. I got the colossal joint, and then I also waxed the drivetrain. This is gonna be my first ride on the wax chain. You can see some of it kind of flaking off as it's getting acclimated to the bike, but I'm looking forward to it, man. Also, I switched the bar tape, went back to the ProLogo joint. I had the white tape with the black logo. I went back to a black tape with the white logo, and I changed my bars, man. I was riding a 38. I had went to a 40, went back to a 38. Now, this is the 42. I think a 42 is going to be better for me. My chest is a 41. I just think it's going to be a better fit. But we are about to see, man. But the bike is looking hella dope. Real clean. I love this bike, bro. I think I got about, dude, almost 4,000 miles on this. And the Trek, it's a beast, bro. With that Cannondale KnotSystem. I just released a video talking about the KnotSystem and how I have it installed on both my bikes, on the Bianchi and on the Trek Emonda. But Starburst is about to get on the road, do some miles. I need 37 miles on the day. I don't know, I might do like 30 outside and then do a small workout on Zwift, something like that. That's what I'm kind of feeling like. But that's how she's sitting right now. She's looking great. Let's get these miles. So that is how the Trek is sitting right now. And I'm going to talk about those modifications that I did to the bike and how it was. So I needed 37 miles to finish my week of riding. And I did get my 37 miles. I had a pretty good ride. Absolutely no complaints. So the first thing I want to talk about is the drivetrain, right? I wanted to go to a wax chain, and I kind of been talking about that in some other episodes, right? I did the whole wax chain, and I will tell you this, it is on point. It is on point. I changed my whole drivetrain. I was running a 5342 chainring setup, the back cassette. I was running an 1132, and then I had a different pulley system. I had the long Shimano cage with the BB Infinite pulley wheels on there. And I changed that for a couple different reasons. Number one is because with me going to the wax chain system, I knew I had to clean the drivetrain, and I kind of didn't know how hard it was going to be to clean it. So I just got a whole new drivetrain, new chain rings, new oversized pulley wheel, new cassette, just everything. And a couple of reasons why. The 5440 is what I'm running now, and that is on point. That is on point. I have a 54 single, I had a 54 narrow wide on my TT bike, and I really like the way it rolls. I knew it was too much to have on a road bike as a one by, and then 52 kind of wasn't enough. And I've been liking the 53, but I was like, let me just try the 54. So rolling the 54 today, man, it was perfect, man. And I rode in the neighborhood, and I freaking hate riding in my neighborhood because it's a bunch of like rolling hills and everything, and I kind of got to do more work than what I actually wanted to do. And like I said, today I had to get 37 miles. I rode the 37 miles. I want to say it was like 2,000 feet of elevation. And with the 5440, it was perfect. Before, my smaller chainring was a 42, and sometime the 42 felt like it was too much, and I thought I wanted to switch it. And then like on my Bianchi, I'm running a 5339, and I know the 39 is not enough. It's fine on the Bianchi because I just have a different type of riding style and a different mindset when I'm on the Bianchi. But when I'm on a Trek, I got a more of a I want to go fast type of mindset. So I kind of like bigger gears on that. But with the 42, it was perfect, right? And before, when I was running a 42 chainring up front, when I was in the 42, sometime when I'm down the bottom of the cassette, I like the top end speed. But then when I want to go up to the top of the cassette, sometimes I felt like the 42 was too much. So now with the 40, when I'm at the top of the cassette, it's like perfect. But then when I get to the bottom, you know, it's still like a happy medium. It felt real good. I had no complaints. I was really liking the performance of it, right? And the chain rings that I bought, I want to say they're called Stone, and I got them off eBay. They was dumb cheap. I want to say they was like maybe like 40, 50 bucks. Usually I run Dura Ace chain rings. I think those are the best shifting chain rings on the market. But the reason why I went with the Stone is because I didn't know the 54 tooth Dura Ace chain ring is freaking expensive, man. It's like $300+. And before I bought that chain ring, I wanted to make sure that the 5440 was something that I liked. And after today, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to be shopping around for the 54 tooth Dura-Ace chainring to put on the Trek. But the 5440 overall was on point, right? Now, talking about the Waxed drivetrain, dude, it was great. It was surprisingly quiet. It was surprisingly quiet. The shifting wasn't perfect, but I think it's just because I completely changed my drivetrain, and now the position of the rear derailleur is a little bit off compared to how it was before. And I think it's because me changing the whole pulley wheel system. Because I know when I put my bike back together yesterday, I was kind of going through the gears, and I had to micro adjust just a little bit to get it to shift. And I think I need to micro adjust just one more over, but besides just that micro adjustment that it needs, is as far as just the performance of it and the way it sounds and the way it spins, man, the wax is what's up, man. I don't know if I'd go back to lubed wax, man. And then looking at the drivetrain after I got back from riding, it's spotless, bro. It's spotless. There's just a little bit of wax that's kind of like on the chain stays and stuff. Just because you, after you wax the chain and you put it on the bike, I'd say probably maybe after like the first ride or so, there's gonna be like a little bit of wax that kind of flakes off, but then you'll be good to go. But overall, I would highly recommend waxing the chain. If you're going through that process, I would also recommend just get a whole new drivetrain. I know that's kind of like the expensive way, because you could just clean everything, but cleaning everything is a little bit of hassle. That's what I'm going to end up doing with my Bianchi, is cleaning everything, because I didn't want to buy new stuff. But with the Trek, I was kind of wanting to buy new stuff anyway, so I was like, you know, I might as well just go ahead and swap it out. But I'm changing everything anyway with the wax change, so I just swapped everything out, and it's been, dude, it's been great, right? So another thing I want to talk about is these Cannondale knot bar stem system, right? I actually got this video up from when I did it before, and I literally just dropped another video explaining how I had everything configured on the Bianchi and the Trek as far as making it fit, what spacers I use, and what the cable routing looks like. But right now what I'm going to talk about specifically is the size of the bars, right? So I started riding a TT bike, and I was exclusively riding TT bike, and then I got a road bike. So coming to a road bike, I was taking everything I knew about a TT bike and then kind of put into a road bike, and that slowed my progress down as far as getting comfortable on the road bike. So my first road bike, I had a set of 38 bars, and I have been rolling 38 bars for freaking forever, right? So then for some reason I went to a 40 bar, and I thought it was better, and I was riding that for a while, but then I found that I was tilting my hoods in more because it was comfortable. So then I went back to a 38 bar, and then I felt like the 38 bar was like mad narrow, right? And I'm 5'6", right? And my buddy Chris, you probably heard me talk about him a couple times on the channel. He's a big dude, man. Chris probably like 6'2", 6'3". He ride a pretty big bike. The other day I was riding his bike, right? I get on his bike and I'm like, dang, these bars, they look big, but then when I put my hands on, I was like, it actually don't feel too bad, man. I was like, hey, how wide are your bars? And he was like, they're 42s. And I was like, damn, 42s. I was like, this is pretty comfortable, you know? So with that Cannondale system, you know, the bar and stem is separate. It just looks like a one piece. So I jump on eBay. It's like, hey, can I find a set of bars, right? I find a set of 42s for like $100. I buy them. I put them on the Trek. And today's the first day I rode them. Dude, the 42s were so much better. Man, the 42s is so much better. I got to find another set of 42s so I can throw in a Bianchi. For me, I did tilt my hoods in a little bit, but with the hoods tilted in, it's comfortable just for hand placement, right? But it wasn't comfortable for hand width. So my chest is like a 41, right? And I'm not a big guy, but I do like a wider kind of stance, and my shoulders are kind of wide. So I was thinking it would just make sense for everything else to be wide, right? And you know, pretty much everything in the bike game narrow. Everybody's going to narrow. Everybody wants little bars, and I think the 42 is going to do me way more justice, bro. Way more justice. Just riding, sitting in the hoods, it was so much more comfortable. When I got out the saddle and I was climbing, it felt so much more comfortable because I like to rock the bike when I'm out the saddle. And it just, dude, it felt so comfortable. There was a couple parts in these the rolling hills that's in my neighborhood. You know, I'm out the saddle, but I'm in the drops, and I'm kind of, you know, winding the bike up, giving it a little bit of gas, and, the bike felt good, man. I didn't hit no crazy sprint or anything. I was kind of managing my power to get my 37 miles in, and then also I just really wanted to see what the drivetrain was about. I didn't know if something was a ride, would the drivetrain be slipping or anything like that, and I didn't want to be dropping like, you know, 1,000+ watts and the drivetrain starts slipping or something. I didn't want to do that, so I was kind of trying to take it easy, but later on this week, I think I'm going to get back out on the road, ride the bike, and I'm really going to try to lay down some power and work on the sprint and see how the sprint is on the 42 bars. But I think the 42 bar, man, it was just so much better. I just, like I said, I felt so much more comfortable when I was sitting in the hoods. I was way more comfortable in the drops, and then even just like turning, I felt like I just had more leverage. It was just like less effort, you know. And I want to go left and right, I could just kind of push it a little bit, and the bike would go. When I was riding, more specifically the 38s, especially like when I get out the saddle, I kind of felt like I was kind of had like a balancing act. Like it was, I didn't have enough space to get leverage because it's so narrow. It's kind of like, I don't know if you ever rode narrow bars, you kind of know what I'm talking about. And I don't want to say it's like not super twitchy, but you just had to get used to how it feels. But with the wider bar, it's just, I don't know, man. You got so much more like a good play. You just got more balance, in my opinion. The 42s, this is what's up. I was really liking it. I was really liking it, man. I'm looking for another set to throw in the Bianchi. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about how I got the Trek set up right now. The 42 bars, got the 5440 chain rings up front, and the Waxed DriveTrain. And dude, it's legit, man. The Trek is on point. I freaking love this Trek. I rode a couple other bikes. I really like my Bianchi. The Bianchi is a badass bike, but I don't know, it's just something about that Trek, man. When I got on that Trek and that 1.5 geometry and the Cannondale system, -17 stem, it is a freaking, it is a beast, man. If you are interested in waxing your drivetrain, I'd highly recommend it. I still got to drop that video talking about the recipe. It's really simple. It's not that hard, bro. If you're going to clean your entire drivetrain, it may be a little tedious, but if you just bought you a new cassette, bought some new pulley wheels, and you wanted to change your chain rings to a different setup, I think that's the way to go, because actually waxing the chain is too easy. I went to Walmart, got me a little $8 crock pot, threw the wax stuff in there, let it go in there, dropped the chain in there, put it on the old hanger, swished it around, picked it up, hung it up in the garage, and that was it, man. I was rocking and rolling, man. But if you are liking the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Star Beezy is back on the road. I'm your boy, Robb Armstrong, and I am out.